Warning, this podcast does not introduce any new information outside the Foundation's curriculum. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey there, Central Liners. Welcome to a new episode of Real Doctors, Real Friends, the official podcast of Foundations of Medicine. I'm your host, Shireen, along with my partner in medical education, Roshan.
Hey everyone, and congratulations on completing week 12 of Foundations. This short week was busy integrating our second last series on infectious disease with the crucial topics of anti-racism and health systems. We are now officially entering the home stretch.
Absolutely. This week truly demanded that our listeners utilize their emerging skill of synthesis, moving from the microscopic world of viruses and bacteria through the complex realm of fungal biology and antifungals. This even extended into going into the structural dimensions of public health and anti-racism. This is where foundational knowledge transitions into clinical competence.
Our theme this week introduced the often overlooked kingdom of fungi. While many encountered the nuisance of superficial fungal infections, the focus quickly shifted to understanding invasive fungal infections, which are life-threatening, particularly in our immunocompromised patient populations. This is an essential clinical distinction.
Exactly. The clinical case we reviewed highlighted that invasive candidiasis isn't just about the bug itself, but the multitude of risk factors that allow it to become opportunistic. As future clinicians, you must recognize these factors: profound immunosuppression, such as chemotherapy-induced status, the promotion of fungal colonization through excessive use of broad-spectrum antibiotics, and providing a direct pathway to the bloodstream via central venous catheters.
When treating these severe infections, our approach relies on understanding the unique pharmacology of antifungals. The four major classes, azoles, polyenes, allelamines, and echinocandins, each target the fungal cell differently. For instance, echinocandins, like mycofungin, are critical as they work by inhibiting fungal cell wall synthesis, and they are the preferred agents for the initial treatment of candidemia due to their efficacy and favorable toxicity profiles.
In contrast, while amphotericin B, a polyene, has a very broad spectrum, targeting the fungal cell membrane by binding to ergosterol, its known potential for significant toxicity means it's often reserved for specific, severe infections rather than being the first-line choice for standard candidemia in an unstable patient.
Speaking of preventing serious infections, our IPC infection prevention and control sessions this week hammered home those important principles. This is a core competency that involves constant vigilance. The most critical encompassing IPC action is performing a continual risk assessment, using and removing PPE appropriately, so donning and doffing, and adhering rigorously to hand hygiene.
Crucially, hand hygiene is often misunderstood. We specifically noted that while alcohol-based sanitizer is generally effective, mechanical cleaning is required when dealing with certain hardy pathogens. Therefore, washing hands with soap and water is mandatory when hands are visibly soiled or contaminated with fecal matter, such as when dealing with GI viruses, because alcohol is ineffective against spore-forming organisms.
So important. And when dealing with high-consequence diseases, such as the potential imported case of measles, we discussed the stakes are raised. We learned that diseases with airborne transmission risk, including measles and chickenpox / disseminated shingles, necessitate immediate implementation of airborne precautions. This requires source containment and the use of a fit tested N95 mask, regardless of the healthcare provider's vaccination history, contradicting the common misconception that the vaccination status negates the need for specialized PPE.
Moving to the population level, our session on outbreak investigation defined an outbreak not just by the presence of cases, but by the occurrence of cases in excess of what would normally be expected. In other words, the endemic rate. Interpreting the epidemic curve is an essential public health skill.
That's right. When the epidemic curve shows multiple successive waves or regular peaks, that reflects subsequent generations of infection. We classify that spread as propagated outbreak. The ultimate goal of outbreak management is the complex coordinated operation required to stop the disease from occurring and interrupt transmission throughout the community.
Our curriculum emphasizes that healthcare disparities cannot be addressed by focusing solely on biomedical causes. We must integrate our understanding of systemic and institutional racism. Racism is fundamentally a determinant of health.
This week specifically introduces the VITALS framework, or VITALS. For interrupting interpersonal racism, the framework teaches that the single first most important step when witnessing or receiving an instance of interpersonal racism is to validate your feelings and experiences. This validation is necessary for personal grounding before proceeding to external actions like inquiry or advocacy.
Furthermore, we reviewed how colonization is recognized as a fundamental underlying determinant of Indigenous peoples' health. These historical and systemic factors create structural barriers, as we've discussed in a previous episode. These barriers can include legislative and jurisdictional gaps that impede access to health services.
Finally, the introduction to health systems focused on the roles of the physician as a leader and a steward of resources. This includes understanding cost perspectives in clinical decision-making. We confirmed that essential physician services like visits to a family doctor are covered by the provincial plan, or AHCIP.
But conversely, routine services like dental or routine eye exams are generally not included in these core insured services under AHCIP, requiring us to be advocates for our patients as they navigate these financial constraints. The inability to access preventative care due to working low-wage, non-standard jobs is a clear barrier dictated by income and social status and employment or working conditions.
All right, Central Liners, let's review the results from our 2 polls from the last episode. Your participation informs our curriculum design, particularly in the areas of pedagogy and complexity.
Our first poll was the virology vibes check. I love that. Asking which fundamental viral science concept reflected your state of mind approaching exams. So the overwhelming majority picked option D. The popular option D, latent herpes virus silently replicating stress. Coming in at second place, we have option B, antigenic drift, creeping intellectual mutation. So the first was 56% of our listeners. The second option was 32% of our listeners.
We have 7%. It's 7% were envelope viruses, and then 5% I think were non-envelope viruses or hardier resisting stress. So it seems, again, the majority is experiencing latency, reflecting the reality of balancing heavy academic load with personal life. We appreciate the honesty. Just as varicella-zoster virus, or VZV, lies dormant in the dorsal root ganglia before reactivation, remember to prioritize your self-care to prevent a symptomatic outbreak during the final exam period.
We do not want that. Now for another test, the Vacation Synthesis Challenge. This poll asked which virology concept, stability versus change, best reflects your preferred vacation style. Coming in at the top, option D again, 38% antigenic shift. In other words, the hybrid adventure.
And then that was the clear winner. That means that most of our students identify with the risk-taking, rapidly changing hybrid adventure style of travel.
Right. Scientifically, this concept reflects the sudden major genetic change caused by reassortment of the segmented RNA genome, like that of influenza A. This rapid mixing leads to a novel hybrid virus, which is precisely why public health officials worry about pandemic potential, and it suggests the student body is ready for abrupt change.
Conversely, 37% chose episomal persistence, representing the stable long-term retreat. This concept describes the ability of certain viruses, such as herpes virus or hepatitis B, to establish a dormant, stable genetic presence in the host cell nucleus for long periods. This desire for stability is perfectly understandable heading into the final week.
Yeah, and now that we are staring down the last week of foundations, our final theme in infectious disease is parasitology, and we also have the final exam, like a little thing to take note of there.
Right.
It's time for one final lighthearted challenge to test how well you've internalized our core concepts.
And also it's the time for the ultimate test of friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, our curriculum involves 4 modes of antimicrobial therapy: prophylactic, so preventative; empiric, when you have an unknown pathogen; definitive, if you have a known pathogen or susceptibility; and suppressive, which involves long-term control. Which mode of therapy best describes your study strategy for the upcoming final exam?
So A is prophylactic therapy. I finished studying 3 weeks ago to prevent any knowledge gaps before the exam. I don't know if 3 weeks ago, because we're testing on concepts
That we learned in the last 3 weeks.
Especially the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, so if you finished studying 3 weeks ago, we suggest you do a little refresher, a little update.
Yeah.
Second option, empiric therapy. I'm currently reading a massive textbook cover to cover, hoping the sheer breadth of coverage will treat the unknown content on the exam.
Definitive therapy, I'm focusing strictly on past WOBs, high-yield objectives, and TBL and DL concepts, as I believe the required knowledge is now documented.
That's not bad. That's not bad. And option D, suppressive therapy. I have a long-term indefinite study plan to control the residual infection of material that remains in my mind until residency.
These are amazing. Vote now, Central Liners, whether you're a prophylactic prepper or a definitive decoder. We commend your dedication. But one more challenge. Since we are approaching the holidays, do you have a favorite holiday or Christmas movie? And of course, the ultimate question, the ultimate test of our friendship, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
It is not.
Oh,
in my opinion.
I am still this many years out.
You're still Die Hard.
Die Hard Christmas movie. We still watch it every Christmas.
Yeah.
Not as a family.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm trying to figure out at what age. I randomly go on Reddit, which is not the best place for parenting advice. I'm just going to put that out there.
Nope.
I mean, that's pretty obvious, but I've had some lowball examples, like at 7 or 8, which
really?
I feel is quite lowball for Die Hard as a Christmas movie for children.
What was it rated initially?
Oh, I'm sure it's
I think
14.
it was rated R.
It was rated R?
I don't know.
No.
I'm looking. Yeah. I think so. Well, I would say, the internet community suggests it's unsuitable for younger viewers.
My gosh, it was rated R. Sorry, it is rated R.
I watched that pretty early, though. Like,
just on Common Sense Media about who's it for. They say 14 plus. They're suggested based on 30 parent reviews.
If Die Hard isn't an option for the family-minded, I would say Home Alone. Still my favorite.
Home Alone.
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
Obviously. The
Yeah.
OG.
The OG.
Yeah, the second one I think I really enjoyed as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then having watched it subsequently,
Yeah.
not only are there challenges with, I mean, there are challenges, but Die Hard has surprisingly stood the test of time.
It's a good movie.
Well,
I agree
also
with you on
for,
that.
the problematic elements of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, there are elements there,
Yeah.
but there aren't any ones that immediately jump out at you, although I'm sure I'm probably so enamored by the movie that I just gloss over it.
Yeah.
Home Alone, definitely there are some older
Some things didn't
tropes
age well.
that don't age as well, especially number 2,
Yeah.
I would have to say. Number 1, though, is I would say it's a holiday classic.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out when to try it for Leo, because I do want him to watch it at some point. I think he watched part of it.
Yeah.
But either he doesn't get bored
Some
with
parts
it.
are scary, like the furnace in the basement.
I think he got scared by that, but he doesn't get scared as often as I did as a kid. That's one of my younger is more like me.
I mean, we grew up with things like Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh my
And
gosh.
like aliens and stuff like that.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah,
X-Files randomly showing
Yeah.
up on TV.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, it was. So is Home Alone the ultimate? I'm a diehard.
how about
diehard
like
fan.
cartoons like The Grinch?
I have a soft spot in my heart for the Charlie Brown Christmas
Oh yeah,
specials
that's a good one.
because I love the piano. I played piano for most of my life, and I don't know. I love the animation. I've played those songs.
Yeah.
My gosh, now I'm forgetting the name of the artist who created those.
Well, now that
piano
you've brought
songs.
up songs,
Yes.
it's time.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I guess we can up the ante on our
Okay.
test of friendship.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
Have we done this before?
No, we haven't. Surprisingly, we haven't. Do you like it? Do you not? I like it. I think it's a great song.
There
I never
are,
turn it off when it
there are
comes on.
there are countless YouTube videos explaining why it's so catchy.
Okay.
It's the chord progression.
Yeah.
I actually like it a lot.
I'm surprised.
I
I'm
know.
shocked.
I know,
I'm shocked.
but it is a very catchy chord progression,
Yeah.
and it's light and fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is something. So I'm gonna say something here. It's actually one of the few Christmas songs that I can listen to on repeat.
Oh, no way.
And surprisingly, the other one is not in the totally opposite direction.
Yeah.
But it's Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
That's a good one. But
That's
my favorite of all time, even more than the Mariah Carey one, is Last Christmas by Wham.
Not a fan.
Oh, no. That's my favorite.
No.
Yeah.
The one that I is my favorite is the Christmas song.
Yeah.
And Nat King Cole's version is my favorite.
Yeah.
That's just a personal taste thing. But the Christmas song has always been pretty much the only song that I like of Christmas.
Yeah.
And again, it's the chord progression, it's the themes, everything that comes out of it. It feels like it's something that you would listen to during the Christmas season. The other ones, I actually like Mariah Carey's song a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Well, I've learned something new today.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a while. I would not have
You would not have
predicted
expected that.
Yeah.
Like when I've told the group this once. I failed a couple exams in medical school, and one of the ones was actually my family medicine exam.
Oh no.
And the reason it's related to what we're talking about is because I failed my family medicine exam because I was having so much fun on my rural rotation in clerkship. And on the way back,
Yeah.
I was listening to Google Music.
Yeah.
I remember it. And on my playlist, because Google Music is now no longer, it was Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town,
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's, like
Yeah.
the Christmas song. And I actually had a Christmas playlist.
Yeah.
And I just remember I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. There's snow on the ground. I'm driving without winter tires on. I could die at any moment here. And I was driving to my exam, not realizing that would be probably the biggest exam I'd ever face while listening to all these wonderful Christmas songs, and I'm still standing. And not only that, I'm a family doctor now.
Yeah, you should add that to your playlist, Elton John, I'm Still Standing.
I'm still standing.
Yeah, you
wow.
should.
I should definitely do that. But I do bring that up as a reminder, especially as we're going into our last week, is that one exam does not define you.
No, you can survive.
You can definitely survive.
And thrive.
And thrive. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, Central Liners. Let us know your thoughts on holiday movies and maybe music. You have now completed the bulk of the Foundations material, covering everything from biochem, genetics, anatomy, physiology, through to application of infectious diseases, pharmacology, and core professional competencies of anti-racism and health advocacy. So you've got this.
Have a great weekend and congratulations on reaching the final week of Foundations. Take care, everyone.